So, Mr. Freaking Wonderful, Mr. Bully, Mr. Kevin Freaking O'Leary, or his goons, took actual interest and time to remove Bear Clooney's video in which I mention him, and use some really sneaky tactics and caught me on a small technicality. But same video, same content is back. You can't beat me, Mr. Wonderful. You can't. Hi everyone and welcome to Bear Clooney Watches channel. Before we start, please subscribe to my channel. Support someone who is just like you, genuine watch enthusiast. Before we start today's video, which is primarily a presentation of a beautiful white gold Yacht-Master 42mm on Oysterflex, I wanted to give two observations from the YouTube watch world. The first one is that I stand in solidarity and unity with Archie Luxury, criticizing Timepiece gentlemen for shitting all over us fat people. How dare you? There is so many fat watch hobbyists, watch collectors, and watch enthusiasts. Do not do that ever again. Second, I watched today a video from douchebag Kevin O'Leary, which, to be honest with you, I'm beyond exploding about it. It's a douchebag. And you know what? I think this video, again, illustrates everything that's wrong with today's hobby of collecting watches. Rather, investing in watches. Well, Mr. Douchebag was privy to be presented some cheap watch options, and he was shocked that such a thing exists. Teddy Baldassar in this video presents to him Tissot and Seiko Presage and watches in a range between, let's say, $250 to Rado and so on to maybe $1,000. And this douchebag is all confused and, oh, what strange world am I in? You know, this is a guy who actually takes a position of speaking as the authority in horology, authority as a watch enthusiast and someone that's going to guide you and give you right direction in how to collect watches, or rather invest in watches. And then through this whole show, well, we actually see some really good options for inexpensive timepieces. Kudos to Teddy. He did a good job on that. He picked the really nice pieces, in my opinion. This douchebag comes out and shows a rainbow Daytona. And what a great investment, 150K, sells for 450K. And guess what? I called my AD and I said, hey, can I get 2 rainbow Daytonas? Because I would really like to be an investor like Mr. Douchebag. Unfortunately, they were not available. Seriously, people, where did we get in this hobby? We got to a point that producer Michael and douchebag O'Leary are people that are leading enthusiasts and people who are giving us a guidance in this hobby. The world is gone freaking crazy. Anyway, I'm done on that. That's my short Bear Explodes. Now, going back to the topic of the video, I wanted to comment a couple of comments. Actually, I want to make a couple of comments on Oysterflex bands, rather Oysterflex bracelets. You see, when originally Rolex came out with the Oysterflex bracelet, and it was on the rose gold Daytona. It was, I think, 2015. Correct me if I'm wrong. I didn't do research on it. It's just going from the memory. I was like, wow, well, you know what? It's interesting. It's a rubber band. And I was a little bit confused. Why are they putting this on a precious metal? Then you kind of see that that was a trend and that Rolex actually puts and plans to put Oysterflex bands, bracelets rather, on only precious metal Rolex watches. So when you see the Oysterflex, you are sure that it's a precious metal. And I was kind of opposed to that because I am the old school and I'm thinking if I'm getting Rolex watch, I genuinely want to experience the bracelet. In the earlier days, Rolex was not leading the market in the quality of bracelets. But these days, Rolex bracelet is top-notch. Getting that in a precious metal is a special treat. So for me, in my mind, I was thinking, well, precious metal Rolex, rubber band, why? That belongs more on tool watch such as sub, steel sub. You know, that's kind of the way I seen it. I did not understand why on rose gold Yacht-Master, why on white or yellow gold Daytona, and finally why on Yacht-Master 42 in white gold. You know, it is a mystery a bit until you actually understand the Oysterflex band, or rather bracelet. And I keep saying that. Do you know why? Because this is not your average and typical rubber band. This is truly remarkable product that is so unique to Rolex. What they managed to do, and this is patented, they created a rubber bracelet. Inside, we have titanium and nickel alloy, a blade. And that blade gives the form and structure to this bracelet. And then it is what they call elastomer, the rubber elastomer that actually clods this blade. So they have achieved basically same durability as a metal bracelet with flexibility and comfort of rubber strap. Once you actually experience Oysterflex, once you actually have it on your wrist, once you actually touch it and play with it, you will understand that this is not your freaking rubber bee, that this is not your Everest rubber bands. This is nothing like it. This is something that is of impressive quality and function. You see, I start to understand what Rolex is doing here. This is luxury in the form of rubber band. It truly is. And no other brand has achieved anything similar to this. Therefore, I have to say that Oysterflex itself is remarkable. So this is actually my second experience with the Oysterflex. Prior to this, I have white gold Daytona. But this watch, this Yacht-Master 42 millimeter, is by far my favorite by far my favorite Oysterflex Rolex watch. It just feels right. The design, the colors, the monochromatic feel, this rubber ceramic looking bezel that perfectly matches the rubber bracelet. Such a functional, easy to wear, precious metal watch. Luxury in stealth mode. Truly. A watch that is beautiful, very legible, and by far, again, my favorite Oysterflex Rolex, and also my favorite Yacht-Master. And you all know that I had experience with 3 of them. The platinum dial steel, the blue dial steel, and last one was the rhodium slate dial steel. This kicks their ass, by far, honestly. And if you can afford it, this is, in my humble opinion, Oysterflex watch to go after. I will take this over Daytona on Oysterflex. That's honest opinion. But you know what? The best thing I can do right now, jump into my watch studio and we take a closer look at this remarkable watch. Let's go. And here we are at Bear Clooney Watches studio, and we're going to take a closer look at this beautiful white gold Rolex Yacht-Master in 42 millimeters. And you know what? I think this one is the perfect match for my black diamond David Yurman bracelet. Obviously not on the same wrist. I never wear bracelet on the same wrist as a watch, but it is such a complimentary look. What do you guys think? Anyway, back to the watch. So here we have a beautifully legible, very attractive, monochromatic looking piece in a truly gorgeous design. Watch has the 32-35 movement, 70 hours power reserve. It wears beautifully on the wrist. One unique thing about this clasp here is the glide lock. This is the only Oysterflex with a glide lock. See what I mean? That's pure art. So the other things that I love about this watch, obviously, is that I have become a fan of the Oysterflex. I like how it wears on the wrist. It's actually very comfortable, but also very attractive. The Oysterflex bracelet is inside. It has this titanium nickel alloy blade, which gives the form, the shape of this rubber bracelet. And then it's covered in rubber, elastomer as Rolex calls it. And it has these butterfly flaps here, which are also providing for additional comfort on the wrist. This is how they look. They bounce back, they're soft, and they provide the air circulation between rubber and the wrist. Watch as a watch, the other things that I really like is how they managed to make this a ceramic bezel, which gives the appearance of the rubber, and how wonderfully it actually complements and matches the look of this watch from the perspective of having the rubber bracelet. So maxi dial, which I appreciate, legibility, monochromatic, slim design, proper size, because frankly, I find the Rolex Yacht-Master rose gold 40 millimeter wears slightly small. And I have to comment that Daytona white gold also wears slightly smaller. This will have a much more impressive appearance on your wrist in the aspect of size, but it will not be overwhelming. So let's take a look at how it appears on my 7.25 inches wrist. So here we go. You can take a look. It, I think, wears perfect. It's nice and slim. It has a nice, elegant design. It's very sporty. It's very wearable, even though it's a precious metal. This is a watch that has a stealth luxury, stealth wealth look. And there is so much I love about this piece. Obviously, with Rolex movement, which is 70 hours, power reserve, quality movement, dependable movement, robust movement, quite wearable, 100 meters water resistance, which makes it a watch you can go in and out the water. Nautical theme, which is extremely popular among the watch collectors. This watch has it all. I am by far favoring this over any other Yacht-Master. I really do. And there is, as I said, so many reasons for it. Now, let's take a look at this watch and its lume. So we're going to shut the light off for a moment and take a look. And here we have the lume of the watch. I can't really make it darker, otherwise I won't be able to talk. But you can see the blue chromolite. It's a watch that has it all. You know what? Believe it or not, I would say that this is the only precious metal Rolex that I could consider being everyday timepiece. One and done. Honestly, I can't say that for any other precious metals, but this piece can certainly take that role. Anyway, let's go back to Bear Clooney's cave and wrap up this video. And we're back at Bear Clooney's cave. I hope you enjoyed this presentation of this beautiful white gold Rolex Yacht-Master in 42mm. This is Easter weekend for many of you who celebrate, not Bear's Easter, but I do like to wish all of you who are celebrating this Easter happy holidays, enjoy time with your family, relax, and truly all the best to all of you from Bear Clooney.